Come on, everybody. Come on, everyone. The time love is here. Let these troubled days be done. I tell you, come on, everybody. Come on, everyone. The time to love is here. Let these troubled days be done. All right, good morning. Good morning. This is Dr. Herbert Harris. I'm only D. Good morning, D. Thanks for joining us. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and we're going to start a 12-week journey where we begin to read about the 12 universal laws of success. Each week on Wednesday, we're going to pick one chapter, and we're going to read and pick excerpts from that chapter to help you as you navigate your success journey using the 12 universal laws of success. If you don't have a book, you can go to our website, herbertharris.com, and get your copy of the book, even an autographed copy. Or you can, of course, get it on Amazon. All right. Well, let's see. Chapter 1. The first chapter in the 12 universal laws of success is the law of thought. And the law of thought says, thoughts become things, and things are the results of your thinking in accord with the nature and feeling of the thought. More personally, your thoughts manifest in your life experience in accord with the emotions and feelings you associate with your thoughts. One of the simplest statements of the universal law of thought is from Proverbs 23rd chapter, 7th verse. And it says, "For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." I'll say that again. "For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Let's put it in the universal. For as a person thinketh in their heart, so are they, whether it's man or woman. To think in their heart means how they really feel about those particular thoughts. Which emotions and feelings are associated with that thought. A further illumination of in their heart is in Matthew chapter 6, verse 21. "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." So what this is saying is your heart is the center of your true feelings and emotions. It is always focused on the things that are important to you, your value system, how you feel about yourself. For example, if you have a thought that financial independence is one of your primary objectives in life, then financial independence should begin to manifest in your life over a reasonable period of time. If it does not, then look into your inner feelings. Inside, you may feel, for whatever reasons, that you are not worthy of financial independence. If you do not feel in your heart, in your basic feeling nature about yourself, that you deserve the things, the conditions or circumstances that you describe in your thoughts, then they will not happen in your life. They will not manifest in your life experience. So a thought has two aspects: a rational aspect, which is the thought, the idea, the words, and an emotional aspect, which is your personal feelings and emotions with that thought. Reverend Ike said it very powerfully. What you recognize in your thinking. So if you think about abundance, you energize in your feelings and in your emotions. So when you have a thought and then that feeling that's congruent with the thought, so you are thinking prosperity and you're feeling worthy of prosperity in your feeling nature, then what you energize in your feeling nature, you realize in your life experience. So if your thoughts and your feelings are on one accord, you begin to manifest life in accordance with the way you desire. If your thoughts and your feelings are not on one accord, you get what you feel. So if you talk success and feel poverty, you get poverty. There are three key areas in that self-image. Is how you feel about yourself, which is critical. Then how you feel about others, what you project to the world, which is your attitude. And then your outlook on life, how you feel about the world in general. You know, there's some people that say things like, oh, life is hard. Woo, what a terrible affirmation. Life is hard. Life is beautiful. Life is incredible. And so your thoughts now control your life experience. One of the most powerful, not one of, the most powerful thought set is your self-image. How you see yourself in your own eyes determines what you get out of life. I'm going to say that again because this can be the crux of either your success or your lack of success. How you see yourself in your own eyes determines what you get out of life. Self-image is your own conception of yourself. It is the mental and emotional picture you hold in your own consciousness, in your mind, of who you are, what you're about, and what you represent. Your self-image is important because it is the starting point of all of your life experiences. So right now, if your life is not going the way you want it to go, look at your self-image. Go look in the mirror and say, well, look at me. How do I really feel about myself? Sometimes your external reflection represents your internal feelings. You know, if you notice, when you're really feeling good about yourself, you tend to dress better, look better, you do your hair. I mean, literally, your external projection is really a reflection of how you feel inside. When you don't feel good, when you're down, when you're depressed, you generally dress depressed and look depressed on the outside. The powerful thought about self-image is this: you attract the thoughts, people, and experiences that are congruent with how you feel and think about yourself. So if you're surrounded by people who dislike you, who dishonor you, who lie to you, who cheat on you, it's not the people. Go look in the mirror, not just the mirror of your vision, but the mirror of your feelings. What is there going on inside you that's attracting these people into your life? The law of attraction says we pull into our lives people, places, events, and circumstances that are congruent with how we feel about ourselves. Wow. That's a good indicator now that you need a change. You know, there's a story of the dog sitting on a nail. There was a stranger walking down the road and he saw a dog sitting on the porch and an old gentleman in a rocking chair, and the dog was just whimpering. So the stranger comes over and he says to the old man, he said, what's wrong with the dog? He said, oh, the old man says, the dog is sitting on a nail. So the stranger says, wow, and he's causing that much pain? Yep. So why doesn't the dog get off the nail? And the old man said, because it doesn't hurt badly enough. And so sometimes in our lives, whatever is going on may be very painful, very disappointing, but if it does not hurt bad enough, you will keep doing what you've been doing. Many things affect your self-image. Three key things are your thoughts, emotions, and feelings developed in the early stage of life, in your first 7 years. Those first 7 years of life are critical to your self-image, because during that time, whoever's in your environment, your parents, authority figures, whoever's in your environment on those first 7 years, you soak up what they are like a sponge. Sometimes your environment was one of positivity, uplifting, and love, and nurturing, and it's reflected in the person. But on the other hand, your environment may be one of criticism, maybe one of pain and hurt and hunger. And that too is reflected in the person. So those emotions in your early stage of life can still be impacting you in your present life. That may be what's really blocking your blessing. Also, your environment reflects your self-image. You know, many times we may live in a physical environment that we don't like, we don't feel it represents us, But until we change that environment or leave it, it will impact us. You notice how when you ride through a bad neighborhood, you have a mindset literally that everybody who lives in that bad neighborhood is bad. And the world kind of treats you that way. But if you don't change it or get out of that neighborhood, you'll be grouped in and typecast with the environmental constraints. Your associations affect your self-image. There's a saying, birds of a feather flock together. Someone said if you hang out with 5 broke people, then guess who the 6th one is? But on the other hand, if you hang out with 5 motivated people, 5 people who are trying to do things, guess who the 6th one is? One of the things that really undermines our efforts is our self-image and how we have a negative self-image or a poor self-image. We hear it often when people, I like to watch some of those, paternity court and some of these other programs that sort of deal with the problems that people have. And very often people say, well, I have low self-image, I have low self-esteem. When a person says that, that's a cry for help. There are 5 signals of a poor self-image I want to touch on because these signals can help you now navigate from having a poor self-image to having a proper and powerful self-image. First signal of a poor self-image, putting the blame on someone else. Putting the blame for your circumstances on someone else or somebody else means that you're avoiding taking responsibility for it. If you blame your condition on the system, on the race, on the politics, guess what? You can't fix it. You can only fix it if you take responsibility for it. So you say, well, I can't change my environment or the political climate. Yes, that's true, but you can change the way you respond to it. So that's under your control. Running away from your problems. When you're confronted with a problem, how do you respond? There are 4 ways. You can flee it, get out of the neighborhood. You can fight it. Oh, this is not a problem. You can forget it and ignore it. Does not exist. When people are in bad relationships, abusive relationships, many times the only way you can stay in it is to forget it and pretend that it doesn't exist. But the only way that you really grow through it is when you face it and make the changes necessary to create the life you desire. Another signal of a poor self-image is criticizing other people constantly. If you're criticizing other people constantly, guess what? Chances are you have a self-image issue. When people criticize you, let it roll off your back like water off a duck's back. Another key signal of a poor self-image is waiting for somebody else to solve your challenge, to solve your problem. If you wait for somebody else, that means you're saying you don't have the power to fix it, which means you don't grow. Then finally, probably the worst of all is when you have a poor self-image is to pretend that everything is all right. To ignore your problems, ignore your challenges. And subconsciously now, when you do that, you accept the consequences of that negative mindset. So let's look at this as we sort of wrap up this. If your self-image is so important, can you change it? Yes. The answer lies in the second law of success we'll be talking about next week. If you can change your thinking on the rational and emotional levels, you can change the outcomes you experience in your life. So you can change your self-image. You can improve your self-image so that now you become congruent with the good things you want. The moment you change your self-image, how you see yourself, you attract different things into your life. So we're going to hit some key points on how to improve your self-image, and then we'll call it a wrap. Fair enough? Thank you so much, Miss Jones, and for success, and Miss Stan. Thank you, Deandro. UC56 Nick, thanks for joining us today. You may want to listen to this and share it with somebody else, but tune in every Wednesday at 8 a.m. as we go through the book. 12 ways to improve your self-image. Number 1, be honest with yourself. Do not deceive yourself. Deceiving yourself is another way of pretending that everything is all right. If you're not honest with yourself, then you defeat your quest for self-improvement. Develop your imagination. Your imagination is the blueprint for your future. It is the first step in the creative process. Proverbs 29th chapter 18th verse says this, "Where there is no vision, the people perish. But they that keepeth the law, happy are they." Your imagination is a blueprint for your life. If you can think it, you can do it. If you can visualize it, you can become it. Through your imagination, nothing is impossible. Develop your imagination by reading stimulating material. Get involved with exciting and successful people. Meditate daily and engage in artistic endeavors. Where your imagination leads, your reality will follow. 3, be able to relax. Relaxation is the key to stress reduction and to mental and physical regeneration. Through relaxation, you can communicate with your subconscious mind and tap into universal wisdom. 4, have that winning feeling. The winning feeling is a strong, positive attitude of accomplishment. It is reflected in the way you walk, the way you talk, and the way you act. When you have that winning feeling, people notice it and they're attracted to you. Everyone loves a winner. Number 5, cultivate good habits. Habits are actions and patterns of behavior that become automatic over time through frequent repetition and consistency. Good habits are those that induce positive cycles of good health and proper rest and balanced diet and responsible exercise. G.D. Boardman said, "Sow an act, you will reap a habit. Sow a habit, you will reap a character. Sow a character, you will reap a destiny." In other words, your habits are the foundation on which your destiny is made. Good morning, Dr. Rogers. The chains of habit are generally too small to be felt until they are too strong to be broken. So cultivating good habits puts you in a success cycle to be, do, and have whatever you desire. Number 6, aim to be happy. Have a great sense of expectancy each day. Expect each day to be full of happiness. Experience each day from a perspective of happiness. Focus on the good and positive aspects of every moment. Have that great day attitude. Expect happiness and be happy. 7, unmask. Thank you, Doc. Atomic Habits speaks to this. Yes, we make our habits, then our habits make us. 7, unmask. A mask is a personality trait that you create, that you project to the world. The purpose of the mask is to hide the real you. Very often a mask is a symbol of insecurity and self-doubt. Now this is a really tough one here. Your mask can be the result of somebody else's expectations for you. When you wear a mask to create a facade to please somebody else, I'm going to say this again. When you wear a mask to create a facade to please somebody else, it is at your own expense. Removing a mask of somebody else's expectations can give you the freedom that can change your life. 8, have compassion. You must be sensitive to the needs of others and be willing to give assistance. You know, the golden rule says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. As you progress along your success journey, you must acquire a greater sensitivity and a greater responsibility to the plight and conditions of other people. This puts you in a different harmonic relationship with your Creator, and it elevates the quality of your life. 9. Grow from your mistakes. No one has ever succeeded without making mistakes. If you're making mistakes, then at least you're trying. At least you're trying to accomplish something. Recast mistakes as life lessons and wisdom. So there's no such thing as failure. There are only lessons. Often you learn more from your mistakes than from your successes. Nothing beats failure like success. 10. Acknowledge your weaknesses. Any weakness or personal shortcoming that is not acknowledged cannot be overcome. Refusing to acknowledge your weakness causes rationalization and deception, and it literally perpetuates that weakness. So if you have, for example, insecurity. Insecurity can be a weakness that keeps you from trying. It keeps you from striving. If you don't recognize that issue of insecurity now, and you pretend that it is not there, you'll automatically pull yourself out the game. You'll automatically find reasons to quit. It makes it feel like it's the game that's messing you up when it's really your own self-image and how you feel about yourself. Once you acknowledge your weaknesses, you can fix them and you can get better. 11. Folks, when we talk about improving your self-image, it requires you to be yourself. People who pretend to be someone or something other than themselves never discover who they really are. When you spend your life living somebody else's expectations, it's always at your own expense. When you try to become someone else, you become separated from your true self. As long as you're separated from your true self, your energies are diluted and your personal magnetism is greatly diminished. When you're living a life based on somebody else's expectations, when you're trying to be someone that you're not, you can never pull together that spiritual energy necessary to attract your desires into your life. All you attract is confusion. Number 12, never stop growing. Life is a constant orchestration of growth through adversity and challenge. I'm going to say that again. Life is a constant orchestration of growth through adversity and challenge. There often must be a Goliath to bring out the David in you. Think about this. If there was no Goliath, we would never be talking about David. So the moment you reject that growth principle of life, you accept the static principle of death. The only way to attain the good health, wealth, happiness, prosperity that you seek and deserve is to grow. Operative word, grow into these qualities and attributes. To maintain these qualities, you must continue to grow in knowledge, understanding, and consciousness. Improving and developing your self-image is a positive, most effective tool that can be your first step towards building the new you. Folks, chapter 1 lays it out. It is the key thoughts that help you understand the you that you refer to when you say I. If that I is one that has a poor self-image, then that I attracts vibrations, people, and circumstances that are consistent with a poor self-image. But if that I is one that says, I'm confident, I'm fearless, I'm courageous, I deserve the best in life, then that is what you attract. You have the ability to mold and transform your self-image in a way that gives you everything you need to get anything you want. I'm going to read a little passage to you as we close out. And it says this, when we talk about improving our self-image, and it is from page 47 of the 12 Universal Laws of Success. And it says, imagine yourself to be a great artist, capable of creating a magnificent masterpiece. In addition to being the creator, the artist, you are also the work of art created, the masterpiece. You can recreate yourself through changing your self-image to that of the person you really want to be, having the things you want to have, and doing the things you desire to do. However, I must warn you, it is not easy, it may not be pretty, but neither is being a caterpillar, ugly, bound to the earth and driven by hunger. Yet, if that caterpillar can survive a profound metamorphosis, it becomes a most beautiful butterfly, free to follow the wind and fly toward the sun. Each of us has a butterfly within us. Through improving your self-image, you can create that butterfly. And then all that happens, all that you attract, becomes the wind beneath your wings. And you can truly do anything you want to do, have anything you want to have, be anything you want to be, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Let's take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Thank you so much for being with us today. This has been chapter 1 over these next 12 weeks. If you join us and be with us every Wednesday at 8 a.m., bring somebody with you. You will begin to create a vibration within you that over these next 12 weeks, you will be transformed to become the person you want to be, to do the things you want to do, and to have anything you desire. This is Dr. Herbert Harrison. Be sure to go to our website. If you don't have a copy of the book, go to our website, herbertharris.com, www.herbertharris.com, or you can get it straight off of Amazon. When you go to our website, you'll see some of the great goodies there. There's even a workbook that goes with it. I recommend that we even have a course there called New You. If you're serious about transforming your life, go to our website, herbertharris.com, and get the course New You for the new year. Thank you, Doc. Doc, this is the perfect graduation gift. We sell a ton of books in the month of May because people give this book to the young people, and it's one of the few books, the 12 Universal Laws of Success is one of those few books that young people gravitate toward. It's written at a level that they can appreciate it and understand it, and they love it and work with it. Even some of our incarcerated friends, we sell a lot of books into the prison system because it gives you a tool for transformation. So once again, go to our website, www.herbertharris.com, and join us next Wednesday for Chapter 2, The Law of Change. We'll be here on Friday at 8 a.m. where we'll do our weekly checkup as we move on to do, be, and have all that we desire. So, this is Dr. Herbert Harris saying thanks for being with us, and always know that the best is yet to come. So it is.